So if you are someone that is going to the gym, you're really consistent with your training, you're training really, really hard, but ultimately you are not seeing any change in your physique, then this video is for you. So in today's video, guys, I am going to be sharing with you the exact reason why you are leaving progress on the table with your training. So if you don't know who I am Beth Blakely and I'm the owner of Bespoke Fitness, and I've helped hundreds of women over the years get into elite shape and actually learn how to maintain a body that they're proud of year round. So in today's video, guys, we're going to be talking about a huge training mistake that I often see, and it's really, really common. You know, how many times have you gone to the gym and you've done 4 sets of 10 reps? Probably more often than not, because I know I used to do this all the time. I used to think that because my training program said 4 times 10 to 12, me just going doing 10, 10, 10 at the same weight for 4 sets was enough, and that isn't enough, guys. I'm hoping you can obviously see my gorgeous demonstration here of my my whiteboard. It's so important that we're understanding how to progress things properly. One key facet of progression with your training is known as progressive overload, right? And that is the pinnacle of you actually making progress in terms of physique development. If you're going to the gym and you're doing the same reps and same weight and same sets every single week, how do you actually then know you're progressing? How do you know your body is going to change? Like, you are not forcing your body to make any adaptations whatsoever, because ultimately you're going in there and you're doing the same thing. So if you was to go in on a leg extension and do 30 kilos and do 10, 10, 10 for 3 sets, or 10, 10, 10 for 4 sets, why would your quads change? Because you were giving them no reason to adapt, giving them no reason to actually force that adaptation. They're not under enough stress to force that change. Now, I would always argue, if you can do the same weight and reps on set 1 as you can do on set 4, that would tell me that you can really train harder. And so many women will, with the training, they give up when it starts to burn, right? And if you are someone that really does want to change, you want to look more toned, you want to look like you've got muscle, it's very important, guys, that we're not just giving up when it starts to burn. You've really got to push yourself to that failure point to then force that adaptation. So just to kind of give you that example on here, what that looks like. This is an example what I see all the time. 10, 10, 10. Let's just use the leg extension as an example for ease. But obviously, let's just say your training program says 4 sets of 10 to 12. Now you've done 10, 10, 10 at 40 kilos or 4 sets. Realistically, what that should look like, if you get 12 at set 1 at 40 kilos, you've hit the top of the rep range, right? So your rep range is 10 to 12. So if you've hit the top of the rep range, and let's say it's what your coach has set out or what you've set out for yourself, if you've hit the top, obviously then you're not trying to get more reps out, right? So your then next thought process should be, I need to put the weight up. Now this is obviously providing someone's got good form, good tempo, like everything's where it should be accuracy wise, yeah? Set 2, then the weight should be going up, because you've hit the top of the rep range in set 1, set 2, the weight should be going up. So we've now gone to 50 kilo. Obviously in set 3 then you should be fatigued from set 2 and set 1, right? So set 3, realistically, you shouldn't be able to match the reps, theoretically speaking. So now we've got 9 reps at 50 kilos, but now we've fallen just shy of the rep range. So that realistically tells us we've got a little bit too many reps, basically. So now we're going to put the weight down on set 4. So we're going back to 40 kilos again. But that's what progression looks like, guys, compared to this, okay? So hopefully you can see that, because if we can do the same weights and reps, like I said, on every single set, we are not pushing ourselves anywhere near failure. And it's so important, if you do want to make that change in terms of physique development, you are constantly progressing that over time. Now, next week, what would that look like? Realistically, if this was me, I'd be going into the gym then, I'd be starting next week. If I've got 11 there at 50 kilos, I'd be starting at 50 and I'd be aiming to get 12. If I've hit the top of the rep range and I've got 12 at 50 kilos, set 2, I'd try 60. See how I get on at 60 or whatever the next weight is in the pin stack. I'd try the next weight up. So you can see over time then you've got them gradual progressions with what you're doing. And another key missing link that a lot of people have with the train as well, and I had a conversation with a client about this yesterday. When she's training, it's like she puts the weight up and her form goes tits up, right? Now the only reason why that would happen is the weight jump is too big, yeah, or you are not really, you're rushing and you're trying to get the set done with, right? So it's a bit of a combination of both with this client. If you're wanting to actually overload the muscle over time, you need to gradually increase load, right? That's part of the process. The rate of progression should be marginal. So for example, a lot of your upper body movements movements, guys, utilizing like the small plates is going to be absolutely crucial. So for example, like, I don't know, a cable lateral raise. Obviously the medial delt, which is what you're trying to target in a cable lateral raise, is one of the smallest muscles, right? It's tiny. So if you're going to the gym and you're trying to put the peg down, you know, if you go 5, 10, 15, 20, it's not good. Your medial delt's not going to withstand that. Like, you're not going to get anything from it. So what you may have to do is use pin 1. It might be 2.5 kilos, and you might hook on a 1.25 kilo plate. And then obviously when you've maxed out on the rep range, you might swap the 1.25 with a 2.5 kilo plate. So then you've gone from 2.5 plus 1.25, and then you've gone from 2.5 plus 2.5. And then obviously then you might move on to the next one, which you've gone from 5 kilo total weight to then 7.5 kilo total weight. So it's really important, guys, we get that progression nailed, because if you're not progressing gradually and your form is constantly going tits up, shall we say, that's then an execution thing. That tells me really the client doesn't know what she should be doing, how to contract the muscle properly. We're just thinking about moving load. But always remember, like, progression is, it should be gradual. It's not something like when I go to the gym and I'm working towards progression, where I'm at in my journey right now, if I can get an extra rep out every week or every couple of weeks, that's progression. And again, it's understanding that kind of, that graph, guys, as well. The more experienced you are, the slower the rate of progression will become, right? So obviously when I first started my journey, anything up to 100 kilos is a new stimulus, let's say on a hip thrust, because I've never done it before. Now, as an example, me though, going from, say, my hip thrust with a barbell would be what, about 150, 160. I'm going for marginal gains. I'm literally trying to get an extra rep out. I might be able to add 1.25 on each side every good couple of weeks or months, right? It's not going to be rapid progress. Whereas if you're newer to the gym, obviously you're going to have more newbie gains. You're going to be able to build things up a little bit quicker, shall we say, but providing your form is nailed. But I just want to really, really hone in on this today, guys. If that's what your training looks like at the minute and you were doing 4 sets of 10 at the same weight, you were nowhere near pushing yourself at all close to failure. And just remind yourself, always remember, set 1 you should have the most amount of energy, right? So you should be going into that set with the most amount of energy. By the time set 4 comes, you should be, pardon my French, pretty fucked, right? Because ultimately you've just done 3 sets prior to that. And I'm actually looking at that being like, I don't think I've done 4 working sets on anything for a long period of time. And I'm probably talking like years at this point. Like, I think most of my exercises are either 3 or 2 working sets. When I'm dieting today, I had 1 working set and a couple of things. So that's another topic for another day. But obviously the harder you learn to train, the less demand your body has for volume, right? But that, like I said, that's another story for another day that we can dig into. But it's really important. It's understanding with your training, guys, you want to be thinking about quality over quantity. Don't just see your training program from your coach or whoever it is that you've got your training program from. Don't just see it as a tick box. Without doubt, honestly, this held back my progress for so long at the start of my journey. I genuinely just thought me going to the gym and me just ticking a box of doing my training was enough for me to force change. Your body is a very resilient thing, and in order for you to force that change and sculpt your body and force the adaptation, build muscle, it's very difficult, guys, especially as a natural female. It will take a lot of demand and a lot of pushing to failure and a lot of discomfort to force that adaptation. So do not be scared of pushing yourself. And if you're going to the gym doing this, that's the easiest way to slow progress down, okay? So hopefully you've taken some value from today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd be so grateful for all the support. But please do make sure you're following for more videos, more educational, training, nutrition, just videos in general that's going to help you with your health and fitness journey, guys. As I say, I am a transformation coach and I've helped hundreds of women get into incredible shape. So I'm always dropping videos. At the minute I'm trying to do 2 a week on my YouTube to help you level up with your training, your nutrition knowledge, your lifestyle knowledge, your mindset knowledge, to help you take your results to that next level as well, to help you raise your own personal standards so you truly can help yourself get into the best shape of your life. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in the next one.